Hello, welcome to this first live ever from Thailand for Aviana Yoga, my yoga channel. I am excited to be here with you today. Whether you're joining me live or watching this recording later, I'd be happy to share with you a little bit about my yoga journey and the practical steps you can take to, hello, hi Alicia, hello Ramana747, hello Punit. I welcome you all here, and I'm just here to talk about my yoga journey, hello, and to tell you about some practical steps you can take if you're thinking about traveling internationally, if you're thinking about taking your yoga around the world, whether that's to practice or to, hi sweetie, or to teach yoga. So I'd love to tell you a little bit about my journey, about how the practical steps I took when I decided to travel internationally and teach yoga around the world. Hello, nice to have you here. And so I knew I wanted to teach. Hello, hello, thanks for joining. I knew I wanted to teach for a couple of years before I decided to go around the world. And so there are some things you can start to do right away in your practice if you do want to teach. You can start to practice as if you're a teacher. Thank you, welcome. So when you do your practice, what I started doing right away was practice cueing, right? So as you're going through your practice, you're thinking or you're even saying out loud, right, place your hands in this position, spread your fingers, raise your foot up a little bit higher, hello, and really go through it in your mind as if you're teaching a class. So because doing the yoga correctly is one stage, but then learning how to cue it correctly is a whole other skill set. So if you start cueing your practice, then you can learn how to do that as you do your practice. You can video yourself. So that's what I started doing. Just video yourself and then watch the video back. And you can see, okay, this is where I need to improve here, and here. And it doesn't take much extra. You're already doing yoga. So just think like a teacher and video yourself. Oh, thank you for joining, Deepak. Nice to have you here. And then as you watch back the video, you can see exactly where you're at in your practice. So I did this stage for 2 years before I ever went on the road. And when I did finally start teaching, I was absolutely shocked. Like I started talking and all the words came out correctly, and it was because I put in that time over those repetitions over several years of just practice teaching. So before you ever get to the teaching stage, just think like a teacher. Just start to think, call yourself a teacher. When you look in the mirror, when you do your yoga, think, I am a yoga teacher. I am a yoga teacher practicing. Okay, so that's a really first good step you can take to prepare yourself mentally to take your yoga worldwide, because it can be really intimidating to think that you're going to go around the world and teach other people yoga who you know nothing about, basically, right? So start thinking like a teacher, practice like a teacher, teach like a teacher, and video yourself and watch yourself. Another thing you can do right now, just to start preparing yourself, is to mirror. Look in the mirror, do your yoga in a mirror and practice. Okay, we're going to start with our right hand, right? But it's really your left hand because you're mirroring the class. So just get used to programming your brain that way. You're looking forward, you're saying, let's take our right hand down, and you put your left hand down. And just do this. Just a couple minutes a day. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. And just get used to it. Even if you're not going to teach, even if you're just going to practice yoga, this is so good for your brain to have that elasticity, to be able to have that pause for a moment in yourself to think right is right, left is left, right? So practice that anyway. but especially if you're going to teach, because if you're going to teach, it's very disruptive in the class to have to stop every time and say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it's okay, that will happen for sure. But the more you practice, get those repetitions in before you get in front of the class. That way, you just have that natural connection within yourself. Beautiful, right? Because when you are in front of the class, there are times when you're not mirroring. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. And other times you are mirroring. So you need that elasticity, and it's good for you either way. Welcome. So think like a teacher, practice like a teacher. And whether you want to teach or not, if you want to do yoga around the world, there are so many practical ways that you can do this. You don't even need a whole lot of money. Mostly what holds you back is not money. I'm telling you right now. What holds you back from traveling the world, what holds you back from teaching yoga around the world, even if you're already a teacher, is this, right? It's these beliefs you have in you that you are not good enough. Why would anybody want to take yoga from me? There's so many yoga teachers out there. So, right, just and you will start to believe it. You won't believe it at first. That's okay. I didn't believe it at first. I would tell myself, you're a teacher. I would think, okay. And repetitions really do build this belief in yourself. And so that when you get in front of the class and you say, I'm a teacher, you're amazed at what you have done inside of yourself, the work you've done inside of yourself. So if you do want to travel internationally and you do want to practice yoga or teach yoga, the first thing is really start to talk about it to myself. Start to say, this is happening. I want to do this. This is the thing that I want to do, right? And the second thing is start to save money, right? Start to save money. And the way that happens is you reduce your spending. If what you really want is to travel, let that be your guiding light. That is your true north. And just let all of those other expenses drop away. You'll be amazed at the money that you spend on things you don't need. When I started dropping those unnecessary expenses that I thought I really needed, welcome, Dave. I was amazed at how much money I could save, right? I don't need that Netflix account. I don't need to go out to eat or drink. If what I really want is to travel around the world and study yoga and teach yoga, then I can let go of all these little comforts that I spend money on, right? So what I did is I got a roommate. I got rid of my Netflix. I got rid of drinking and eating out, and I ate healthy. And I was absolutely shocked. I'm telling you, if you do this, you will be disgusted with how much money you've wasted. I couldn't believe it. I was looking at the numbers on the sheet and thinking I could be a wealthy woman. Really, I have money, right? So I'm telling you, you can do that today. You don't need to get another job. You can, but you don't need to. You can just cut out unnecessary expenses and put that money directly into your bank account. Okay? So it doesn't have to be huge, drastic. Just start somewhere. Start thinking this way. Start acting this way. Just start orienting yourself. You know, you write these things down for your goals and just work towards it little by little. So you have your money saved. You've decided that this is what you want to do. You want to travel for a time. You want to go and maybe you are already a teacher, or you want to study teaching, or you want to study yoga abroad. And there are a lot of places you can go. I went to India, loved India for yoga. The yogis there are amazing. They have got master's degrees in yoga, right? They've been studying since they were children. It's their way of life. So, hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for joining, you guys. They've been studying yoga their whole lives. And so I highly would recommend India if you want to travel. It is affordable. You can find really good yoga schools there. And if you'd like any recommendations for any areas in northern India, I didn't get to go to southern India, but if you want some recommendations for northern India, I would love to give you some recommendations there. And thank you for joining, Sarah. And I studied in Rishikesh for 2.5 months. I did my 500 there. And you can learn things about yoga that you can learn any other way besides trading. Right? You can alignment, because a lot of times you go to classes and they just say, do it. Welcome from India. And and you just go along with the class. You stay up with the class because you don't want to fall behind or look bad compared to the other people doing yoga there. But it doesn't mean you know how to do yoga. Right? If you go to these trainings, you actually learn alignment. I class, I had 22 people. There were only 6 who wanted to actually teach yoga. The others were there just to learn how to do yoga properly, right? Because there's this hole in the yoga market where nobody teaches you how to do yoga in yoga classes. Everybody wants to work out, so they just say go, 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 and you get very little alignment help. So if you want to learn yoga alignment, our online yoga alignment coaching for home yogis specifically, or people who go to classes and don't get that out of their yoga class. So if you're interested, you can always follow the link to my website, and I would love to work with you one-on-one over Zoom in your home, just giving you that lovely feedback that you don't get at home, so you don't get injured in your body. But other than that, really, teacher training is the way to go, whether you're practicing or teaching. So you're done with teacher training now. You've got your training, or you're coming from your home with that knowledge already in place, right? You're already a yoga teacher and you want to travel internationally. Where do you go? How do you start, right? Because everybody feels like an imposter. Everybody feels like, I'll tell you guys all how to join my online yoga class at the end of this video. Anybody who's interested in training with me online, I would love to have you. Yes, welcome from Rishikesh. I love Rishikesh. I'm going back for sure. But when I left my teacher training, I knew I wanted to start teaching. I didn't know how or where. What? I'm not a yoga teacher. I'm just a yoga student, barely, right? Right after I got out of my teacher training, I had welcome. Right after teacher training, I had one of my yoga teachers invite me to go to the non-Western side of Rishikesh, the part where there's no tourists, it's all Indian people, no English anywhere in sight, to go where he teaches these very lovely children to do yoga. There's like 20 children. I get in front of them, and these kids know yoga. They can get into all these advanced poses. And he just tells me, okay, teach the class. And I said, I said, welcome. I don't know how to teach yoga. What? Right? So I went through this very, very bad class with these kids who were looking at me like, you don't know how to teach yoga. That was my very first experience with teaching yoga. And it was horrendous. It was mortifying, right? These kids knew how to do yoga way better than me. So after that class, I went straight back to my room and I came up with 6 different yoga sequences, right? And I kept building on. So that's doing start building up your yoga classes. Do them yourself. They work on to make them work better. And just keep building that. That is gold here, right? And all classes with types of people, right? Build your repertoire. My recommendation is if you're traveling nationally, take a month and do something else after. Do something. If you're so traveling, so many volunteer opportunities around us. You know how many where you can exchange or room for in amazing places. So after if you bother spaces, right? gentle and just relax. So you can find a place, Bali, Thailand, India, so many places where you can maybe work as, on a eco farm. You can work with animals. There are so many things you can do. Join, you can join places like World Packers or these other volunteer, thank you, welcome, other volunteer opportunities. And you can live for very little money while you prepare your mind and your body to teach yoga. And once you want to teach yoga, there are so many, I'm telling you, there are so many places. I found this amazing place in Thailand called Ecologic Thailand. It's a charity for children, rural children in Thailand. And you can, and I can teach the children as well as the guests, the adult guests who come here. And the amount of knowledge I've gained in the short time I've been here about teaching, because it's an environment that is so good for new teachers, right? So you can find one of these low pressure volunteer situations where you can start to teach in a way that works for your body. I'm 47. I'm 47 years old. I have two grown children, 29 and 21. Yes, I am an old lady and yoga keeps me young. So yeah, find volunteer opportunities. For me, I left my home at the age of 47. I sold everything. I really knew this is what I wanted. I want to teach yoga. I want to be serious about it. So I sold everything. My children had already moved away from home. They lived far away from me. So I just left. I sold my car. I got rid of all of my possessions. I have 2 suitcases and I'm just a leaf on the wind out here, right? I go wherever the opportunity is. So when I went to India, I knew I was going to India to study. I didn't know where I was going after India, right? I got a lot of recommendations in India that Thailand is a very beautiful place to start teaching yoga. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities here. And so I did my research. I found this lovely place in Thailand and I I just feel so blessed, right? There are things that you can't know about yourself until you travel around the world. And um, I miss my home. I miss my family. I miss my friends. I miss those beautiful massages, Dave. Absolutely. But I just am so happy that I took this step, right? I took this step out into the world and I've figured out so many things about myself. And I feel like I could just teach everybody, right? I miss you too, sweetie. Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hi, Dakota. So yeah, um, if you want to travel internationally, if you want to take yoga around the world, there are so many ways to do it. So many ways. And I would love to share even more with you about this. And if you want to practice yoga with me, you can follow links to my website. I would love to work with you one-on-one, and I will soon begin offering group classes as well. So weekly group classes to practice with me, do a little meditation, spend some lovely time together in each other's presence. And I thank you all for joining me today. If anybody has any questions, just type a comment here and I will answer them in my story later. Thank you so much. And I'll be back for another live in about a week and I will see you guys then. Thank you so much.